Welcome to the vlog.
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 Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the vlog.
Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the vlog. Season 4.
Welcome to the vlog.
I know the title seems like clickbait, but I promise you that it's not. Please let me explain myself. So let's go back to October. A former coworker of mine, Sally, who used to work at the UBC lab with me, reached out and asked if I wanted to be a part of a hackathon. I thought it was just going to be a little weekend thing, so I said yes. The idea was to have a nursing-led team and to tackle a problem in the industry, and Sally wanted to improve nursing documentation by integrating AI, natural language processing, and speech-to-text to help speed up documentation and make things a lot easier. From her experience as a nurse, like, documentation is taking way too long, taking nurses away from bedside care, contributing to burnout and retention rates, yada yada yada. So we work on our pitch that weekend, and me, Sally, and a group of 5 other people end up advancing to the top 10. And this is where I kind of realized, oh, this isn't as small of a competition as I thought it was. First of all, like, there's a part 2 to this. We have another month to prepare our final proof of concept and our pitch. And also, I find out that we're the only Canadian team. Like, this is a hackathon that's like predominantly based in the US. So that was a shock. I was like, oh, okay, so this is a little bit big. It's a bit of a bigger deal than I thought it was. So we spend another month working on our pitch, getting everything ready, and the day comes in early November where we present everything, and guess what? We win $150,000 USD, so 200K Canadian. I'm shocked. I still haven't really processed that. That was like fucking 4 months ago. Like, holy shit. We now have 200K to build out this project. Like I said, it's kind of a surreal experience. I am in shock, and I have learned a lot of things along the way. In the world of business and big money, it turns out 200K isn't actually a lot of money for a startup and to build a product. So that's been challenging. So we've been all working together to kind of reframe our idea, pivot, and kind of create something that's more realistic, but that still aligns with like a lot of our original ideas and goals. And to address why am I going to DC? At the beginning of January, we were invited to a workshop and conference by the people that provide this grant. And at first I was like, there's no way I'm going. Like, I can't afford to spend like $2,000 on like this trip. But we decided, like, let's ask if they'll subsidize us, and they did. They subsidized the whole fucking thing. Like, I'm so thankful, and I'm still in shock about the whole thing. Like, I can't believe we're going to DC to be able to participate in workshops, work on our idea, collaborate and network with other people that are in the industry. Like, it's very, very cool. I'm feeling very excited to take you guys along with me. Of course, by the time you watch this, it'll all be over, but I am so excited. Yeah, it's not clickbait. It's for real. I'm waking up these days very tired and dehydrated, so I got up, I made my bed, drank some more water, and then I got myself ready to go to the gym. George is back from Seattle for the next 2 weeks, so I got on my bike and biked over to his place. I was so excited, and he got some new Apple Pro Max headphones sponsored by his work, so I got to try those out. We got a little coffee together after our nice little leg workout, and then it was time for me to work. Honestly, I was only working today this week before going to a conference, so it was a chill work day. I just had some tasks to finish up. Like I said though, I was feeling pretty tired, so I made myself a second coffee of the day, and my favorite thing to do is to dip a little shortbread cookie in before adding the milk. It's always super yummy. It was raining pretty hard outside as well, but I was not worried because I was about to fuck off from Vancouver. Then I had meetings. Okay, so I just had my little meal, and what I think I'm gonna do is head out to Van City. Okay, I have an embarrassing amount of ones. Guys, I have 28 dollars, it all in ones. Where I can, I try to use cash when I go to the US so that I don't like get the whatever, like, conversion fees on my credit card. But when you get your change, obviously, like, they're giving it to you, and there's a lot of $1 bills that come my way. I don't want to carry this anymore, so I'm gonna go get this converted into bigger bills. Work day's going well, can't complain. But if you had to ask me to complain, I would complain that I wasn't able to run today because my leg's still kind of injured. I know I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm Like, I do want to go to the gym and just try running and seeing how it feels again. If I know what's good for me, I won't. But I never know what's good for me. I always make the bad decision. So I think I might do that. Anyways, let's go to Van City. Went to Van City to pick up the cash, and then I just finished off the work day and got everything I needed to done. My parents were coming over for supper because Molly had surgery, so we were all just at home. We ordered Thai food. It was super yummy. And then I had to get a ride in, so I got my ass to Anytime. And I did end up trying to run. I ran 3 kilometers very, very slowly, and in the moment it felt good, but I didn't end up running for the rest of the week. Spoiler alert. Anyways, I did a nice long ride. There were some intervals. It felt really, really good. I was pushing so hard. You could see like the heart rate at the end. I was also deep diving into like heart rate zones at the end and did a little stretching. I was really feeling more hopeful about where my body was at before going to DC, but I am still very much injured, so it's unfortunate. I was a bit of an idiot. Maybe that's a bit of harsh wording, but I forgot to bring water for that entire workout, so obviously I need to rehydrate. Putting together a nice little mocktail is actually the best feeling at the end of the day. It's just like a fun thing to drink that you actually look forward to. I also got to FaceTime Turner, which was nice. I'm all ready to go for tomorrow. I have like a little list of last minute things I gotta throw in the bag, like all the chargers and water bottle and such. Sally's partner Clement and also somebody in our hackathon group is actually kindly offered to drive us to the airport. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Clement. Thank you so much. I can't believe I'm going tomorrow. I don't even know what to expect out of the city. Don't know what to expect out of the conference. A part of me doesn't even want to go to sleep though, because I'm like, I've got to wake up again in like 5 hours. I will be in Washington, DC very, very soon. I got up to finish my last minute packing at like 4 a.m. and then we were off to the airport. So we was going to Toronto, made a surprise cameo. It was so good to see her. Everything went really well, and Sally and I got our asses on the plane, and we had no hiccups. It was so good. We landed in Toronto and we only had like, I'd say an hour layover before we were on the plane, and we landed in DC. Like, it was a super easy transit. I think both of us were feeling good. We got on the train. It was so easy to get into downtown, and this was our hotel. Induction stove over here, and a microwave, little toaster, coffee machine, dishwasher. We don't have to eat out. Yeah. Living room. Closet number 1, bathroom, bedroom, closet number 1, closet number 2. I was just showing here how huge the closet really was, and I was just so excited and in shock that we were really there. We rested it for a bit before going out to get dinner. We got Ethiopian food and shared a vegetarian platter and then went to bed. The next morning, Sally was chefing it up. She made me breakfast. Shout out. The conference wasn't starting until like 1 p.m., so we had a lot of the day to just walk around DC, which was nice. It was also a really pretty day, so it felt nice to be able to go outside for a lot of it. Something I noticed in DC was like the streetwalker countdowns were so long. Like, there was one that was 80 seconds, and this is the fanciest Apple store I've ever seen. We went to a place called Compass Coffee, and something I noticed as well about DC is that there's a lot of like local restaurants. It's not a place that has a lot of chains. We saw the White House. It was actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be, and it looks bigger on camera, but in person it seems kind of small. And then we walked over to the Washington Monument. This sounds stupid, but like when I saw it from this angle, I was like, that's not how I always see it on TV. And then as we walked towards the World War II Memorial and then the Lincoln Memorial, that angle is like how I've always seen it. So I was like, okay, that makes more sense. Then we got ready to go to the conference. We picked up our poster and walked over. I was feeling really nervous at this point. We put it up and waited for it to start. It's still a little empty here. We got there pretty early. The conference started by just talking about resiliency in healthcare and how we have to build better systems that don't completely rely on staff being able to take a whole lot of shit. We presented our posters. We ended up getting little Twinkies, and that kind of helped with the nerves. For dinner, Sally and I went to Thai food, and it was really good. We're both vegetarians, so it's made the whole trip really easy. When we got home, we had to write a lot because we were trying to like promote everything on LinkedIn. I actually physically cringe every time I have to post on LinkedIn. And then I got my bed ready and we were going to bed. I was so tired. I was also excited, and I planned my whole outfit for the next day. When I put it on, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I kind of didn't have time. So there's a group activity to go on a walk with everybody from 7 to 8 a.m. Sally and I were gonna go together, but Sally like barely slept last night. So I'm like, I'm gonna be brave and I'm still gonna go. And I do wanna do it. I love going on walks, but as I'm walking over now, I'm like, I wanna bail, I do, so. I'm gonna go. I'm just letting you know that I do want to bail. Looking back, I don't know why I was being so pessimistic. I was just having social anxiety. The walk turned out really lovely. I talked to a lot of people, and then we came to the hotel, had some breakfast, and then got ready for our sessions. We learned a lot about equity within healthcare and how it connects to burnout. We did some sessions, had lunch, and then I went outside. It was so hot. Hello, I am doing a quick little walk around the block because we have like 10-ish minutes left for lunch. I had a good first session. I just wanted to soak up the sunshine because it's literally 24 degrees outside. Yeah, we had lots of good discussions. I have like a lot of ideas going through my head that I still have to process, and I think we have a lot of work to do in the evening, but I feel good about the morning session. We have 2 more hours of sessions and activities to do. I think Sally and I are doing really well though, so I'm gonna commend us for that. Yeah, head off back into the conference room and enjoy the rest of this day. We had our session on communication strategies, and I took so many notes this entire day, like so much. I mean, I took some free stuff home with us because why not? We got out at around 3 o'clock, so we had time to go see the Capitol. This building is super grand and intense. It was also very warm out, which was nice. We also saw the Justice Building, and the cherry blossoms were out in DC, which was very lovely. Overall, the city so far, in my opinion, has been very beautiful. And then we walked over to DuPont Circle, and we were walking down Massachusetts streets, and you're just walking upon so many embassies, which is crazy. We got Greek food for dinner, and then we walked home. So we ended up walking like 12 kilometers that day. On the last day of the conference, we went to a nice little coffee shop called The Big Joint, and then we went to the hotel to have some breakfast. There were a lot of breakout sessions this day, highlighting different projects, more speeches about burnout. Getting a little tired at this point, but our last speaker was so amazing. I really enjoyed hearing her talk about longevity of a project, and then it was over. Our day finished at around 1:30, so we decided to go to a museum. We were recommended to go to the African American History Museum, and this elevator that kind of takes you through history, African American history, was so incredible, and I felt the museum was very powerful. I loved it. We got home and had a chill evening. We just ate leftover food and made some tea, went to bed. Next morning we were leaving, so we finished off the food that we had in the house, and I couldn't believe it. There's still so many business people on like a Saturday morning. We got our asses on the train, and it was time for us to get back to Vancouver. It was kind of a rough travel day, 15 hours, because we had a 6-hour layover in Montreal, but we were blessed because we had an extra seat between us and we were home. I was very happy. The next morning I had to finish off my book club book, and then Molly and I rode over to Cow Dog to meet Angela and George. We were having our book club, which was super fun, and then after sitting in Cow Dog for a bit, we decided to go bask in the sunshine on the seawall. It was just such a beautiful morning. And then I biked over to my parents' place. I was gonna go on a ride alone originally, but then my dad was like, I'll come with you for half of it. And I'm so happy he did, because I ended up going for a long time this day. We went to Deep Cove, and I would have been sad to do the whole thing alone. Came home, I had a little snack, and then I got myself back on the road. Honestly, we were only at like 65 kilometers and I was not feeling it, and it was very discouraging that I had so much to go. I had another snack, but it like wasn't enough. I am on kilometer number 97. Very close to being home, which is good. But like when I say home, I mean like going to my parents' place. So I still have to get back to my apartment via bike, and I have to go grocery shopping. I made it to 100, but like at what cost? I was so dead. I could not think. I honestly am still having trouble thinking. I had a little snack, but then I left and I was like, it's so late already. How is this happening? My groceries in my backpack, so it was so hard to ride. I was already weak and I had to carry all these groceries. But you know what, guys? At least it wasn't raining. Got home and cooked some food. I really needed an ice cream at the end of the day too, so Molly and I went to Ernest, and I was really hoping to try the carrot cake flavor, but they ran out like while I was there. Then I got home and edited. I cannot believe we've come to the end of this very exciting week. I feel like I've learned so much about health equity. I learned about a lot about like burnout and well-being within the US healthcare system, and I know how much healthcare workers are at strain just because like I literally work in healthcare. I know I'm not a frontline worker, but like as a data person, like we do see how the stress on frontline workers kind of ripples through the rest of the organization. The grant that a lot of the people we're working with is for addressing well-being
for physicians in the workplace. So it was really cool to see all the projects that people had going on to be able to support the staff in these organizations, and just defining what it means to be a healthcare worker and what that role entails and like what medicine is essentially. So it's really interesting. I'm really excited to not only like apply these learnings to our AutoChart like hackathon project, but also at my like place of work. I think there's so many teachings that don't just apply to the front line. Like these teachings kind of ripple, like they should be applied through any workplace. So I will say I'm also like very proud of myself for my ride today. I was an idiot. Sorry, I'm using very harsh self-talk, but like I know better. I did not fuel properly before going on that ride. I had like a latte and I had like a little bit of kettle corn, and then I was like, this is gonna be an awesome idea for me to go on this bike ride. If I was just doing 50 kilometers, I would have been fine. But no, I was like doing 100. So like when I was at the halfway point, I was already probably a little bit gassed. And then I had to like do another 50 kilometers. Like I said earlier, at 60 kilometers, I was like, oh my gosh, I should just bail. I told my parents I was doing 100. So I kind of was like, okay, you told somebody you were doing it, so like just finish it off. Honestly, if I hadn't told anyone that I was doing it and I was just like in my head had set that goal, I would have failed. Ever since coming home from that bike ride, I have not been able to operate at full brain power. Like I'm honestly feeling like a lot of brain fog and just like dizzy a little bit because of the ride, which obviously is not good. So it was good that I had a nice dinner and had some ice cream, hoping to get a good night's sleep and to just be able to recover from this idiotic decision that I've made. Anyways, that being said, I'm gonna head off to bed. Thank you so much for coming on this journey for me, for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week.